I'm sorry, are you going to threaten me, officer?
Are you trying to cause a scene right now? Because I'll arrest you for disorderly instead.
Why? I'm doing what I'm doing my...
No, you're attempting to cause a scene here with
No,
these
I'm not.
people.
You just threatened to hit me.
You most certainly are.
You just threatened to hit me.
Police on scene, 3 police are in charge.
And what crime are you detaining me for currently?
I just answered.
Trespassing?
Trespassing. We need to ID you. We're not trying to charge you with a crime.
You have to have a trespass warning first. You have to give me permission to leave. You can't just give me a ticket for trespassing.
I'm not trying to give you a ticket.
Then what ID? What do you need?
Today in our video, the right to record in public clashes with the duties of the law enforcement agencies and creates a critical debate relating to accountability and professionalism. The initiator of the situation is presented by the man who is exercising his First Amendment right to film in a public space. Recording public encounters with the law enforcement officers has become a powerful tool and serves as an important requirement to hold law enforcement as well as its citizens accountable for their actions. However, tensions escalate rapidly in this scenario, and it illustrates how fragile these interactions can become when communication fails.
You're going to hit me? I'm sorry, are you going to threaten me, officer?
Are you trying to cause a scene right now? Because I'll arrest you for disorderly instead.
Why? I'm doing what I'm doing my...
No, you're attempting to cause a scene here with
No,
these
I'm not.
people.
You just threatened to hit me.
You most certainly are.
You just threatened to hit me. You threatened to bash me.
201 from 222.
I don't get threatened in public. Sorry.
Would you respond to in front of the box lunch? Stop taking my photograph.
Nice to the officer. Be a gentleman.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that goes both
that's
ways.
The problem right there.
That goes both ways.
Get that camera out of my face.
I'm on public property. I can do what I want.
That's not public property.
I am now.
You are so rude. Are you recording me?
I'm in public.
The man asserts his right to record video and ambient sound in public, an act completely supported by U.S. case law. The doctrine of abandonment has long held that police officers, while on duty and in public, have no reasonable expectation of privacy. However, the situation becomes critical as the female police officer allegedly threatens the man that she would bash him in the face. Such was a grave accusation, much more so from an officer in uniform and empowered with privilege. A source of anger seems to be filming by the officer. Instead of de-escalating matters professionally, the officer escalates the matter. This is not only inappropriate, but also forms an abuse of power when no criminal activity has been established. Police officers are taught to handle stressful and awkward situations with composure, and when they cannot achieve this, it serves to harm the trust between law enforcement and the community they serve. In the current situation, the threat made by the officer reveals a momentary loss of control that can really make the encounter go perilously wrong.
Are you recording right now?
I am videotaping, which is in my constitutional rights.
It most certainly is not.
It certainly is. In public, I have the right to record video and ambient noise, and
This is not
law
ambient noise.
enforcement has no expectation of privacy when you're doing your job. You're in uniform. You just threatened to bash me in the face, officer. That is a crime. Just because you have a badge does not mean you can threaten people to bash them in the face.
I hope you're... What crime was that?
I'm going to continue to roll on this, just so you know. The Boston police tried to... This is case law right here. You got to study up on your law.
Oh, I forgot that you're a policeman.
You don't have to be abusive to me and threaten to smash me in the face with my camera because I took a photo and asked a question.
That's not what
This is the United States of America last time I checked. And I'm in public and you just made a bunch of noise towards me and I don't appreciate it.
I walked away from you and you followed me, okay? That's what happened. I suppose we'll have to seize your camera as evidence, right?
You're not seizing my camera unless you have due cause.
However, in playing the card of having his rights, the man also adds fuel to the fire. He does not let up after being threatened by the officer. He continues to give her the impression that she threatens him with violence as well, increasing the quarrel some more. Even though the man was rightfully calling the other person to order over inappropriate behavior, This kind of continued provocation only stokes the flames. In these kinds of interactions, if the emotions are held, if respect prevails with an eye on the matter, things would not go haywire. This de-escalation needs to be taken care of by the citizens themselves and the officers. The man also claims he was leaving when the officer came after him, which means had the officer moved back, the situation need not have escalated at that time itself. Instead, the standoff persists, with him threatening to take her camera as evidence. That leads to yet another legal issue. It would be a deprivation of this man's rights to take her property without some articulable reason. Officers must have some plausible purpose, such as evidence of a crime, for taking such an action, and nothing presented seemed to warrant that degree of action. This is an interaction that very well explains the thin line between public rights and the responsibilities of law enforcement. Recording in public is a strong accountability tool, but this responsibility comes with having to handle tensed situations calmly. Both the parties in this video could have acted differently. The officer should have been professional and not threatened such things. The man could have intervened by sticking to the facts, and the whole argument would not have continued for such a long time. To the audience, it is also a reminder that one must understand and exercise his or her constitutional rights, especially as it relates to filming in public spaces. It also commemorates the case as being important for good communication and professionalism by law enforcement officers, as they are public servants. In this next video, it's an old-fashioned kind of First Amendment audit, with the man remaining completely calm and telling police his rights while they asked him questions. The situation really forms around the extent of legal detainment, suspicion, and the right to operate on private property for police. It questions some really important issues regarding trespassing laws, the requirement of showing ID, and how law enforcement responds when it doesn't have apparent reasons for detaining anybody.
On private property, or is it because I'm suspicious?
Because we're called here for a suspicious person, that's why that we're here.
Okay, then I don't wish to identify myself.
Well, then we're going to have to talk about that.
Okay, let's talk about it. Do you not want to talk about it anymore?
No, we're not going anywhere.
Oh, okay. Am I free to go? Am I being detained?
No, you're detained right now.
What crime do you suspect?
Detained
What
for a
time?
crime, but right now
What
we're
crime are you detaining me for?
You're not, like I said, we're right now just looking at your, we call it, this is called in a suspicious person, as someone sitting in a car.
Is that a misdemeanor or a felony? Being suspicious, is that a misdemeanor?
The contact initiates when police stop a man who is sitting on private property after the police have been called about a suspicious person. The officer states that he has articulable reason to contact because of suspicion, but the man promptly asks the officer if he has probable cause to arrest him, or at minimum, the right to detain him. The man then gets down to brass tacks by asking the crucial question, am I free to go, or am I being detained? The officer admits that the man is detained but refuses to elaborate as to why, except because of suspicion.
We're just trying to identify you.
And I'm trying to figure out why I'm being detained.
All right?
Why am I being detained?
We're trying to figure out who you are and what you're doing here, that's it.
What crime do you suspect me of committing?
All right? We didn't say there's any crime right now.
So what am I being detained for?
Because right now, it was called as a suspicious person.
What crime do you suspect me of committing to be detaining me right now?
Right now, you're parked on private property. Like
I can't leave because you're detaining me, though. What crime do you suspect me of committing to be detaining me right now?
Can I explain, sir?
Is there who's the leader right here?
May I explain?
Who's the leader right here? Are you in charge?
I'm not in charge.
Who's in charge? Are you in charge, sir?
No, our sergeant is occupied right now. Can I explain what's going on?
Don't touch me. No, I won't.
Can I just explain?
No.
You had a question.
What am I being detained for?
Yeah, I'm gonna answer it for you, pal.
Okay.
Okay. So, can I explain?
I'm asking what crime. I'm not asking for an explanation. I'm asking what crime do you suspect me of committing that I'm being detained for right now?
Well, technically, it's trespassing because this is private property.
So
like he explained to you.
But I have to refuse to leave, though.
No.
This is the crucial point where the man asks, is suspicion a misdemeanor or a felony? Answer, neither. The man already is well aware that police need reasonable, articulable suspicion of a crime to detain someone, not a general feeling that something is amiss. This is an important point under Fourth Amendment law that protects against unreasonable searches and seizures. The officer cannot give a credible reason why the man was being detained. The man remains cool. repeatedly asking for clarification. This is when the officer asserts that the individual is being held because he is trespassing upon private property. However, the man accurately identifies that for trespassing to occur, there must first be a warning or request to leave, which has yet to happen in this scenario. Laws regarding trespassing can be quite complex, but most states generally permit the property owner and even law enforcement to give a verbal or written warning before it becomes a crime. The man points out that no such warning was issued, so the police's grounds for detention are at best tenuous.
Situations like a pro.
So
This is where it emanates from.
Everybody wants to give like half a cent.
no, I'm trying to.
You said
explain
your
it to when you're not listening to what
your
I'm saying.
supervisor's coming, correct?
No, he's not coming. You
Okay.
asked if I was in charge, and
Yeah.
I said no.
Okay. So who's running the show right now? Because everybody's giving me like half a 2 cents.
There's 3 police on scene. 3 police
Okay.
are in charge.
And what crime are you detaining me for
I
currently?
just answered.
Trespassing?
Trespassing. We need to ID you. We're not trying to charge you with a crime.
You have to have a
You
trespass
understand that,
warning
right?
first. You have to give me permission to leave. You can't just give me a ticket for
I'm
trespassing.
not trying to give you a ticket.
Then
no.
what ID? What do you need ID for?
You're detained because of that. I'm not trying to give you a ticket for anything. You understand that?
I don't understand that because
The whole reason why we're out here, if I can explain, the
So-
whole reason
so if
why
I'm-
we're out here. No, you're in an RV parked across from an elementary school.
correct.
That's the reason why we're here, because
Okay.
you could probably agree with us that it is suspicious to wait in an RV the entire day across from an elementary school. Wouldn't you agree?
No.
Okay.
That's
well, in the eyes of the law,
subjective.
that is suspicious, and you are lawfully
Really?
detained at
In
this
the eyes of the law, that's suspicious? Where in the law does it say that an RV across from the school is suspicious?
It doesn't have to say it anywhere.
Okay, that's very ambiguous. I understand if y'all want to come out and make contact with me, cool.
Yeah,
But to
that's
have
what we're
3 police officers say, no, you're detained
Yeah.
after you made contact with me and I'm willing to leave, that's unacceptable to me. So that's why I'm just not willing to deal with y'all right now. I feel like that's...
Okay.
If you're...
Well, I'm trying to explain it to you.
Well, I mean, what's your end goal here of being here? Do you want me to stay or leave?
We'd like to identify you.
So your whole purpose of stopping here is just to ID me. It's not to get me to leave the property in general. So I don't understand how that helps your basis
I
of
think
trespassing.
I think ultimately it would be best if you left, but right now we need to ID you before anything happens.
Okay, well at this time I like to remain silent.
I'm just here because I'm a school officer and the school called. That's all.
Okay, I apologize. I don't know if you were working all day, but no one came by to make contact with me earlier.
I was here and they saw it.
Okay, yeah. To my point, there's no trespassing signs in front.
No, I get it. My experience, we've had people over here, and I'm not even accusing of this. I've had guys taking pictures of kids. We've had sex offenders around. I'm not even accusing.
I don't even want to. Okay, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Okay, call me a pedophile.
No, I didn't.
Disgusting. You have get out of here. Freaking disgusting. Have a gun on your hip. I don't consider you a murderer. Ridiculous. Wow. I don't wish to answer any questions.
Well, is this thing registered?
I don't wish to answer any questions.
So this isn't registered. That plate's not coming back to anything right now. That's a problem.
What's trespassing? In simple terms, in the United States, criminal trespass usually happens when a person enters or stays on private property without permission and refuses to leave once warned. The policeman here quickly assumes trespassing, but this is not tenable, as the man sharply clarifies since there had been no warning and no sign that the property was private or restricted to entry. Most do not even realize that this is an important detail in how one might be charged with, or not charged with, trespassing. The man becomes louder, repeating, "What crime do you think I'm committing?" again and again. The police officer cannot answer with a convincing reason and just keeps asking the man to show his ID. There is an important point, though. Unless there is a state law that forces you to state your name, a police officer cannot request your identification unless there is reasonable suspicion of committing a crime. Another very important part of this video is when the police officer says, "We are only trying to identify you." The man continues disputing this and says, "You have to commit a crime in order to detain me." This is now a point in which the man realizes his rights and will not let the police intimidate him into giving out his information. Unless he has a reason to believe he is being stopped for a crime, and really he only has to do that if he is. He has every right to refuse. When he is told that the suspicion comes through being parked near an elementary school, the man coolly responds with the question of where in the law it specifies that parking near a school is illegal. The officer, wanting now to find a justification for his position, falls back on the fact that the situation just looks suspicious. But mere suspicion alone, he is told, isn't enough for detention or identification under the law.
Am I still being detained? Can I request the sergeant come out?
He's a little bit busy right now, but we're just trying to...
So am I not able to request the sergeant?
Sure, but he's busy
Okay,
right
I would like to request the sergeant then, please.
Right. But we still got to figure this out.
Okay, can I still, is that gonna hinder from me requesting a...
No, we can
Okay.
have a supervisor. It's just going to be a little bit.
Okay, before he's requested or before he comes out?
Before he comes out.
Okay, that's fine. Can we go ahead and request him then? Or do you not want to do that? Because now you're just walking away when I'm asking for a supervisor to come out. Y'all want to act like, oh, I'm just having a conversation with you. When it comes time to me asking something specific, I want to walk off and do whatever.
Are you curious where our sergeant is right now?
No, I'm curious why I cannot ask for a sergeant to come out.
You could. He's on a medical call, which takes priority over your request.
It takes my request, my rights. I'm just asking to... Y'all are crazy.
No, like
okay.
You could ask and we could say no.
Okay, then say no. He's saying yes, but then walking away.
Yeah, well, he's on
So that's why my response is like, how are you going to say yes and walk away? And then you get all defensive. He's on a medical call. If he would have said that, cool. But he didn't say that.
I'm not defensive about anything.
Well, y'all are detaining me, so you're very defensive.
I'm not. I'm doing my job.
You're not doing, in my opinion, you're not doing, yeah.
You can have any opinion you want.
Yeah, okay.
At the end of the day, we are doing our job.
Okay. Well,
So
you're still talking about me about whatever.
Whatever opinion you want. That's fine. What do you do for a living? Are you in law enforcement?
I do not wish to answer any questions, and at this time I'm going to remain silent.
That's fine. This is a sick man. You have somewhere to be?
Again, I wish to remain silent at this point. I'm not... Okay.
No, because what I'm saying to you is, like, we could totally get you on your way if you could just provide us your information.
At all times during the encounter, the man remains calm, repeating several times that he doesn't want to answer any questions and would like to remain silent. Another right afforded by the Fifth Amendment. The scene gets a little more heated when the man asks to speak with a supervisor, only to be dismissed by the officer, who claims the supervisor is busy and perhaps not available at the moment. This is a lack of transparency because citizens have the right to request the involvement of a higher-ranking officer if they think the case is being mishandled. The man retains his rights and never forgets that officers are not under obligation by statute to summon a supervisor, but also often make it a smart strategy whenever you feel things are going to start going downhill. He remains non-confrontational, yet continues to apply a legalistic approach to the confrontation, refusing to let the officers suck him into making some admitting statement or providing information beyond what is legally allowed.
That's the only missing piece.
I don't believe I've committed any crime to be warranting me to ID myself. I feel like criminals have to ID themselves. I haven't done anything wrong.
Sure. If you have nothing to hide.
And there's another tactic the cops use. If you have nothing to hide, why not just tell us who you are?
Then there's nothing wrong with you providing your information.
If you don't have any law to state that I have to provide ID, then you have no right to ID me.
I just explained it to you.
Well, I disagreed with you, so we're waiting for a sergeant to come, I guess, after his medical call.
We're not obligated to have a sergeant respond here at all.
Okay, and I'm not obligated to answer any of your questions.
Okay, but so nevertheless, you still are detained.
Okay.
And then we'll just...
And I'm not
remain
moving.
Detained for what? The rest of the day?
I don't know. That determines on you. You're running the show right now, not me.
It doesn't determine it determines me?
Yes, because you're detaining me. I'm not detaining myself. I would like to leave at this point.
Sure.
You're saying I'm detained, so that's on you. So you're running the show, not me.
Yes, and this entire thing, you'd be on your way in a couple minutes if you just provided your information. But you're refusing to do that. So that's why we're here at a standstill.
Okay.
So we'll just remain at a standstill.
Okay.
George, right? All right. You're on body camera as well, okay?
Okay.
All right. So, is there any way I can see your license and then you'll be moved on your way? That's it. If we already know what the registration is on the vehicle and all that stuff.
Again, I
My
don't wish to
sergeant
answer your
asked.
questions, and I wish to remain silent at this point.
Okay. But listen, right now you're on township property. That's what we're talking about, and we're just asking just for your driver's license. That's it. We identified who owns the vehicle, and you said it was you, correct?
You're Matthew Prevo?
We just wanted this done so then we can get out of your hair here. That's all that we're looking to do here. We're not looking to violate any rights or anything like that. You can, like I said, we're on recording as well. We all have our body cameras on and our MVRs on right now. All right? That's all we need to know. And then we're going to get out of your hair. That's all that we need.
Confirmed it with the DL picture.
Did you? All right, so I don't really know what the big deal is here, but you can go.
So I'm not longer being detained?
No, we finally identified.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
If this will happen to you, then never forget to maintain knowing your rights. Be clear, calm, and concisely speaking in cases to law enforcement, and do not hesitate to ask for a supervisor or ask them to clarify when you feel your rights have been violated. Conclusion. This video is one of those important reminders on knowing your rights in regard to law enforcement. Whether it's right to remain silent, right to refuse to give identification without good cause, or your rights under the trespassing laws, knowing your stuff is your best defense. Let us know in the comments what you think. Did the police handle this situation correctly? Was the man within his rights? Tensions are escalating at a public facility in which a person can be seen facing off with employees and police over his right to record. The confrontation began when the individual filmed inside what he believes was a government building and was confronted by employees who he claimed do not want to be recorded. The defendant alleged that he had every right to record in this public area, and invoking the protections of the First Amendment, which guarantees freedom of speech and expression, these rights must extend to recording public servants acting in public spaces and doing their job.
Turn it up.
Turn it off.
Don't you ever touch me again.
Or we're calling 911.
Well, maybe you should, because that lady just put her hands on me. So I'm gonna show.
Nobody put their hands on
Yes,
you.
they did.
They are blocking you from
Get
filming us.
away from me, please.
Please leave the facility.
You don't tell us what to do.
Please call 911.
Okay, good. They'll inform you. They'll inform you. You're a Karen.
Okay.
This lady
Please?
touched me.
No, she did
Yes,
not.
she did. It's on video.
Okay, please leave the facility.
You don't tell me what to do.
Yes, this is a public area. This is a public area. This is a public area.
Good.
You're not able to film us.
That's the reason why we're here. It's a
There's-
public area. Yep.
And that's why you cannot
And
film.
no.
Because the other public is not allowing you to film.
Continue doing your
Please
job.
leave.
Continue doing your job. This is
Please
not your.
leave.
This is not part of.
As tensions mounted, police arrived in the area, probably due to local people who had brought them in to work. It appears the officers were worried that the individual's activity was going to interrupt whatever routine business took place at the facility. They warned him that if his filming was impacting their business or precipitating a riot, they could be forced to leave, and even threatened to have him kicked out with a trespass order. It was very clear from the officers that although public space is everyone's, behavior that infringes on others could take a legal dimension.
Okay, so.
However, it is open to the public to conduct business.
And this is business. This is tax
with
paid.
the state of Alaska.
This is
dealing
business.
with driver's license.
This is business with the state of
and
Alaska.
Registrations for motor vehicles.
This is business with the state of
You have to
Alaska.
leave and you refuse.
You know
to
that I'm
leave,
willing to go to
you'll
jail, bro.
You
You know I'm willing to go to jail and bond
You know
out
I'm
right
willing
away.
to take you to
And
jail
I'm willing
as
to
well.
bond out right away. And then it's
have
your
no
job.
right
It's
now.
gonna be your
It's
job.
not going to be my job.
Yes, it is, because I just got assaulted
It's
by them,
not
and you're
gonna
over
be my
here
job.
talking about how I can't be in there. That's
I
not.
told
This is not what
you.
you got hired for. You're here to fucking
told
protect me.
you.
I don't care. I don't care.
I
You're being
told
disrespectful.
you specifically that if they tell you to leave, you have no
That's-
choice but to leave.
That's not how it works.
You are welcome
That's
to
not how it
come
works. Call your
outside.
supervisor. Call your supervisor.
told you, I am
Call
the supervisor.
your supervisor.
already told
You're
you I
not
am
the
the
top guy.
supervisor.
You're not the top guy. No, you're
I'm the
not.
top guy
No,
at
you're
the
not.
moment.
There's
I'm
no
the
way.
top
There's
guy
no
at the
way.
moment.
No, you're not. You don't even know the difference between public and private. They don't have that authority. They don't have that authority. We have the right to be in there. And if you're going in there to solicit a trespass, I'm gonna own the out of your police department and out of you. You know this?
Cool.
You know this?
That's cool.
That's not cool.
I'm telling you,
You're
right
gonna
now,
cost the city a lot of money.
if
So
we
go
go
ahead.
inside and they say that you can't come in,
Shut your mouth.
You are not allowed
Shut
to
your
go in.
mouth.
But the individual asserted that they were not being disorderly and pointed out the officers for the lack of legal warrant of issuing warnings. At one point, they even claimed a staff member touched them physically, which they interpreted to be assault. The officer replied with an explanation that, under Alaska law, that act would not be defined as battery, then proceeded to explain this only seemed to infuriate the person.
Allowed on the premises.
Yes.
I can't have you guys be harassing my
We're not.
customer, but
We're not.
I did hear some escalation of communication between you and the customer. I can't have that. If y'all gonna be in here, I can't have you been escalating with the customers.
Thank you, but we have the right to be there. The customers are the ones that are going crazy, and your employees too. She put her hands on me, and I'm gonna share this video. This guy's a piece of. He doesn't want to investigate anything here right now. You want me trespass? You want me trespass? No. I'm explaining to you exactly what the hell happened. And by the way, you're being watched by thousands. You're being watched by thousands right now.
I understand.
And you don't want to call your supervisor. You act like you're the chief in town.
I just explained to you that I am the supervisor.
You have a
I'm the
boss.
watch commander.
You have a boss.
I do. It's the chief of police.
So call him over.
The chief of police is not currently
It's
here.
Monday morning. Call him over. It's Monday afternoon. Call him over.
I'm not going to argue with you.
I'm arguing with you. You need to investigate.
You can't go in there
Yes, he
anymore.
did.
You were
You
allowed
are
to
not-
come in, but if you're gonna come in, I cannot have anything get escalated with customers.
I'm not. They are.
I cannot.
They-
I'm not.
but tell that to them. I'm not the one creating a problem, bro. That's the whole point. I'm not the one creating a problem. Everybody's going crazy at us. We weren't speaking to anybody. So why are you telling us when your employee was the one that put her hands on me? Why are you protecting public property like if it was private property? Why are you? Yes, you are. You're saying that. You're saying that.
If that you have to leave, you have to leave.
And you're wrong.
If you don't leave,
You're wrong.
If you don't leave,
If I don't leave, what?
then you will be.
You ain't gonna do.
on
You're
the
not gonna do
premises
anything. You're not gonna do anything to me. You understand that? You're gonna need a whole army. You're gonna. No, I'm not. I'm telling you, it's freedom of speech. It's freedom of speech.
You
Thanks.
can speak the way you want.
I'm not causing
I
a
have no
scene.
problem.
You're causing a scene, and your employees are causing a scene, and then I'm causing a scene because I got attacked. I'm the victim here, dog. What don't you understand?
Did you call the police?
I was about to. Yes.
Okay, you didn't call the police, so I came here. And
Because I
responded
know
to
that they called it.
Yeah,
they
three
know-
different people called.
Good.
Okay.
Good, because they're those three idiots
So I
you need
came
to
in
arrest.
And I gave you the
Those-
opportunity to tell me your side of the story.
I'm giving you the opportunity to do your job correctly. I have the right
My
to be
job
in
is
there.
to listen
I
to
have the
everybody.
right to
I've
be
only
at
heard
the
your side of the
DMV.
story so far.
I'm gonna go back in there. I'm not gonna speak to anybody.
going back
Yes,
to the
I am. He just said that I
He's
can.
already said that
No,
you can't go
no,
in.
he said that I. You're not listening.
Y'all can be in here. Y'all can be in here. Y'all can be in here.
He said that I could go in there as long as I'm not speaking to anybody. So I'm gonna go in there. I'm not gonna speak to anybody. Hopefully nobody speaks to me. And that's it. You don't determine what happens here, Laska. You don't determine what happens here, Laska. No, you don't. You're not in charge of this situation. You're actually out of control. You're actually out of control, and you need to calm down. You need to calm down.
You have no authority over us unless we commit crimes.
Well, if you remain
You
on
have
the
no
premises,
authority.
He's out of control.
He's out of control. You have no authority over us unless
unlawfully,
we commit
then
a crime.
you will be committing a
I don't
crime.
care
No
what
one's.
you
You're
say.
committing a crime
I don't
right
care
now.
what you say.
How am I
Bottom
committing
line
a
is, if we're not
You're,
committing a crime,
you're
we can't
disturbing my
do shit.
peace. You're disturbing my peace. You need to
I'm
walk
disturbing
away.
peace by standing there.
We're gonna.
Ask you a question.
Yes, brother.
So I'm here for the DMV.
Thank
Is
you.
there anything I can help you with the DMV? Can I
What's
get
that
your
lady's?
driver's
What's the lady with the braids name? I want to press charges on her. And the other lady that both ladies that are in the front. I need both of their names and the lady with the braid, please, because
We are all
they
state
broke the law.
employees, and you can get our names off
But
of
they
the
broke
state
the law.
directory.
But they broke the law right now. So I need to tell him so that he could do his job.
How are we going to put a face to a name on a directory?
I don't remember everybody's shirt.
Because
so
you're protecting everybody. I understand. That's fine. We'll find out. We'll find out who it is. But we're gonna go back in there. We're not gonna speak to anybody. And I give you my word.
Okay.
But people need to respect, especially you. Who do you think you
The
are?
only thing is, if things start getting crazy like
Thank
it
you.
was earlier, I'm gonna have to ask y'all to leave, okay?
If they get crazy, we don't say a word.
So if people get crazy, we gotta leave. I got it. Okay, good. People go crazy.
You guys do understand that.
You don't. I don't want to
sometimes
speak
when
with you no
you're
more.
videoing People.
You're
and they
dismissed.
Don't want to be videoed.
You're dismissed.
They're
Actually,
gonna react to it.
You're
Which is
dismissed.
obviously what you're trying to do.
You're dismissed. Actually.
We are dealing with a lot of legal documents, a lot of people's information, so they're not gonna want that stuff on the internet.
But the
I know
policy
you're
from
not-
this page says that I could film. This is a public building.
Okay.
You can't just be like, I don't like him,
Are
and then
either
you're
one of
not.
you armed at the moment?
You're no none of your
Or
business.
either, it is my business.
That's none of your business.
The state of Alaska law says that if
So
you're
what's your
armed
question?
and you fail to tell me that you're armed,
I don't
then
gotta.
that's a violation of the law.
I don't gotta tell you.
Arrestable offense.
Well, I guess
Do
you.
you
Some, I
suspect
get.
us of being armed?
Do you suspect me of having a firearm right now?
An officer that dealt with one of you last night said that you guys were armed.
Oh,
or
really?
one of you was armed.
Oh,
You
really?
suspect us of being armed today.
You are in the state of Alaska,
I've never
and you
met
do
you
have the
before.
right to actually be armed.
Damn right we
So
do.
why are you trying
Yes.
to? Why are you trying
so
to take?
I assume that everybody I come in contact with is armed in the
You
state
just
of
said you
Alaska.
talked to another deputy that told you
A
that
police
we were
officer,
armed.
because there are no deputies in the state of Alaska. We have no sheriff's department.
Just a uniform. It's a costume to us. So
Exactly. You guys are all the same.
Okay.
What's the Third Amendment? If you know that, I'll apologize.
I'm not going.
Throughout the encounter, he persisted in arguing with the officers, repeatedly requesting badge numbers and claiming that they did not know or understand what rights under the Constitution were. He claimed it was the workers, not he himself, that had disrupted the situation, and that recording was a legally expressed right of free speech. The individual refused to budge even after constant attempts by officers in providing de-escalation and educating that person about the restrained access in a public facility, which suggests an intent to escalate things further if need be. A significant point in this standoff was the thin line between exercising rights under the First Amendment and accommodation of practical limitations put on one's access in a public facility. While the right to film in a public place is well settled, particularly with regard to law enforcement, that right can be balanced by privacy concerns, disruption concerns, and concerns about maintaining order. These officers charged with balancing these competing interests were put in a tight spot between upholding constitutional rights and dealing with a volatile situation. In the end, the encounter left both parties at an impasse, with the individual standing firm on their right to record and the officers focused on maintaining order. The situation underscored the complexities of public spaces, where legal rights, official duties, and individual actions can easily collide. While the First Amendment provides strong protections for freedom of speech and recording public officials, the practicalities of enforcing these rights in real-world situations remain challenging. The encounter served as a vivid reminder that exercising one's rights, while crucial, must also be balanced with a recognition of the responsibilities that come with them. As the individual walked away, their words echoed a larger debate, one that continues to play out in cities and towns across the country: the ongoing tension between personal freedoms and public order.